What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
Hello, and welcome back after that tiny little ad break. And do I really need to introduce this man sitting next to me, Nelhad? I've been waiting for this a long time. How are you doing today, my sir?
I am feeling fantastic, Hyferia. I'm very excited for this matchup. We've got King's College going against Springfield College, 2-0-3 teams. We've got the least of the East. One of these two teams trying to prove that they deserve a place at the table, Hyferia. What are you looking at going into this? As I said, 2-0-3 teams. Springfield has not won a game all year.
Yeah, that is exactly what I'm looking at. Well, they're both 0-3, where Springfield, they are 0-3. They are 0-3 squared. They are not doing too well, but I think they have a lot of opportunities against Durham. They made it incredibly close. So, while yes, they are 0-3 in every single game, that it could just not be as bad as that might seem. Maybe they just struggled to close it out and really keep it close every single time. It is going to be a matchup for sure in Springfield. They are here today to actually prove that, and I would love for them to do so.
Yeah, would love to see what they can do. As you said, both teams, everything to prove, nothing to lose, right? It's not like you're trying to sustain any amount of wins in record, right? Your win-loss ratio is as bad as it gets right here. So for both teams, absolutely nothing to lose. I'm excited to see what kind of gameplay that brings out. Is it going to be desperate? Is it going to be inspired? Is it going to be patient? Do these teams realize that, man, we've got nothing to lose, but we're not going to win any games rushing to it? That's what I'm going to keep my eye on. The mental game more than anything else, because you know they're both frustrated sitting at 0-3 coming into this game tonight.
And not only frustrated, but they look at this matchup today as well, see King's College and really see, well, that is, if you're looking from Springfield's perspective, that is, hey, look, this is a opportunity we have to take. We're both 0-3. We need to be 1-3 instead of 0-4. We need to show that here today. And well, against King College, it is going to be a very tough matchup for sure. I'm so looking forward to it. I really would love to see both teams kind of ease themselves into it, really take that first game as just, hey, you know what? It's a warm-up. We want to get this one underway. It doesn't really matter if we lose or win. It is a warm-up game. It's the best of 5. So you have that little bit of wiggle room, but you really need to take it. And oh my word, am I excited for this.
Absolutely excited indeed. Once again, if you're just joining us, the King's College Lions will be taking on the Springfield College Pride here. Both teams coming to the night 0-3, looking to salvage their first win of the year. These teams, they're going to want it bad. As we said, Springfield doesn't have that first win. I'm looking for Springfield to come out personally and just start headhunting. I'm looking for goals right out the bat. Leave no one back on defense. Let's just get a goal. Let's get something feeling good here to kick it off, because they have absolutely no momentum. You look on the other side, King's College took Montclair State to a long 5 games, their first time out, then got swept by Potomac, and then against Nichols last week lost 3-1. So they've got some wins under their belt. They just need to put it together. On the other side, Springfield has just looked lost week after week after week. They need to find some sort of synergy, some sort of teamwork here on the offensive end if they want to get going and find their first win of the season.
And you guys might have seen it as well, but you guys can predict with your channel points as well. It's just to have a little bit of a, not a gamble, because that would involve money, but have a little bit of a test yourself, see whether you can actually analyze better than us, because I have honestly no real clue. This might actually be, even though they're both 0-3, this might be one of the best matchups of the entire day, purely because the most important part of being in a high division is being able to regain, that you're able to turn that noble in your head and say, hey, look, we've got this. We are going for this full. We're not 0-3. This is a completely fresh start, and you need to be going at it full pace. Springfield, We're mostly talking about Springfield. King's College is also 0-3, but King's College has had a few games on the board, so they kind of have tasted that, where Springfield, I'm hoping to see that today.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't take my jab at both these teams with too much seriousness, saying the least of the East. That's just what the records show. As we said, this is still the Champions Division here, Hyferia. I am still expecting a tier of play above everyone else. I'm still expecting some very solid matches. Both these teams maybe not off to the starts that they would have liked, but don't for 1 second think that either of these teams don't have what it takes to get back on pace. As I said, find a place at the table. It's early in the season. They still have time to come back, but it starts right here, right now. And boy, would it feel good to do it with a strong performance, with a sweep, with a 3-1, to really just get your sea legs out and you say, you know what? We can look at those 0-3, but we're looking forward. We're looking at the next week and the following week, and what can we do to get back to 3-3, 500, 4-3? How can we just absolutely run the table on the remainder of the season? So these two teams still bring a lot of talent to the table, and I don't want us to get it twisted.
This is going to be one of those matchups where chat is going to be looking, both teams are 0-3. Oh, that guy missed one. I could easily beat them in a 1v1. Oh my word, these players are so terrible. You're probably wrong, because this is Division 1. That means they are going to be showing up for sure. It's just a matter of when, and they know they have the capabilities, and that might be a frustrating part as well, where they know, hey, look, we've got this capability. I can hit flip resets up the wazoo. Now, that is not necessarily the only skill that you need to have, but if you know you can hit clips and or just do really well with your team, not able to pull it out in league play on stream, that is also a staggering part in your gameplay. That is something that you need to work on. You need to get more comfortable in that stream environment where there are people watching you, there are people casting you, there are people pointing out your mistakes, but also we will point out what you do well. So try and focus on that. Treat it as a regular ranked game, and you just have to be going into it full force and to the best of your ability.
Yeah, I think that's something solid to key on. We were talking about how important the mental game would be here. It looks like King's College has finally loaded in. We're going to be started off. Just that thought will have to hold as we are finally underway. The Pride taking on the Lions here. Hyferia, take it away here for the starting game number one.
Not me. Sharky's taking us away. Oh my word, what a goal directly from Springfield. And this is what I mean, or this is what we mean. They don't slack. They don't really go into this with, hey, now we're probably going to lose. Now, 5 seconds in, it is already a lead for Springfield. It is a great start, but they need to keep this one going. They need to get a good kickoff here as well. I mean, it's not necessary, but you do want to keep that momentum as, Kings, they are showing a little bit of inconsistencies here and there.
Yeah, absolutely. Sharky, but they didn't run off the bat, and they have another opportunity there. Springfield can't quite convert, trying to get back here on the other end and set something up. Are the Lions, excuse me, King's College can't quite get that one to go there. Impressive stuff by Sharky, as we said right off the bat. That's what we're looking for. Springfield coming out and headhunting early on. They've just got a corral on the defensive end here, and they will be able to clear it, trying to find another possession. I would like to see them put 2 or 3 goals up here early on, Hyferia, just to get some of that confidence back.
Oh, yeah, that confidence is massively important. As Bones rips another shot, saved by Clever. It is still Kings who are not really able to break out and get some opportunities on the board. They need to start getting that going, even though there's only 1 minute remaining. I did say, hey, first game, just play around a little bit. You do want to play around on the opposing side. As Clever gets it past one, can he get it past another? I guess it's awkward enough for React, because Clever manages to get through and equalize the game.
We are not enough at one apiece. Look at Clever on the replay here. Beautifully placed ball in the bottom right. React has no angle on that. Clever blocking with the car. Absolutely magnificent play to knot us up at 1 goal apiece. This game looking like we could be headed to overtime between these two pretty evenly matched teams. It feels so far.
Oh, it's such an incredibly early overtime call, but I'm all with you now, lad. I'm completely on that wagon. Sharky gets it in towards the center. Double commit coming out, but Gilmore will be able to clear that one out further. Gilmore boys, actually, instead of Gilmore girls. Love the switch up, love the change up. You know, you got to keep it out of both sides. You got Gilmore girls, but let's see whether Gilmore boys can actually succeed as well in this series.
Absolutely, and Springfield not able to get anything out of that offensive possession. The ball on their half now. Had to play some defense. Kings get an okay look, but there is React with a save. Demo on the back end. React, little 1v2 action as they are falling back. Gilmore boys able to play this one out of the corner, but here comes the sustained offensive attack. They set up. Oh my gosh, what a pass, and Bones is right there to clean it up.
And he buries, or the Bone buries, not himself, but the ball into the back of the net. Great opportunity, capitalize there at Bones. And something interesting as well that I always find impressive is that he's a sign-up player. So that is nothing against people who play on sign-up, but you do just have a disadvantage with not having 144 hertz and, well, having a little bit of input delay. It's incredibly hard to try and play on sign-up at a really high level, but Bones, he's managing to stick up there and really get the pace of the game. Sharky is a hard clear out. It doesn't manage to make it, but then Clever, he also missed a shot completely. This is an awkward situation for Springfield. Gilmore in towards the center. Clever rips a shot off the crossbar, and the accuracy slacking for Kings here.
Yeah, Kings can't quite get it to go. Would have been a massive goal for them. Another shot going tall of the goal there. They get another opportunity. Absolutely blew that one wide left. There's Gilmore boys trying to play some defense on the other end. Sets it up. Beautiful goal for Sharky. Me, oh my, they are starting to run away on the offensive end with this one, Hyferia.
And Pugsies, he didn't see Sharky coming in, nor was it Cole, so he went to that ball thinking, hey, this is all fine and dandy, I can just clear this one out easy, no worries. And then all of a sudden, quick brap brap from behind, and you get shot down by the big old Shark. Well, I mean, hey, Sharky is in his environment. We are currently in Aquadome, and Sharky, he's feeling it, he's loving it right here as he tries to go for the demo, being an absolute bulldozer. Oh my word, you don't want to have a 120-ton Shark coming at you as Gilmore actually, well, he takes it down the other end and put it down, buries it in the back of the net.
Yeah, there is a beautiful goal from Gilmore boys, and right there, Pugsy setting it up. Some solid teamwork from those two. They are not done just yet here, Hyferia, trying to fight with everything they have left. Will it be enough here down the stretch? Clever trying to play this one off the wall to set something up. Can't quite find the angle they're looking for there here in the midfield. Oh, that was gorgeous! Bones puts in another.
Oh my, that is a 2-goal lead now, and Kings, they need to start getting something going. Bones once again proving that sign it. I can just shut up completely because he is showing up massively for his team. It is just a great performance right now by Springfield as they're looking to continue this 1 minute 50. Plenty of time to make that comeback. Oh my word, almost a shot from distance. Sort of finds his way back in the net. Clever, all he can do is get a touch, then get demoed. The defensive side from Kings is struggling to keep up the power, but the offensive side cracks it on the crossbar. Then Gilmore, yes indeed, will manage to break through and put in the connection goal.
Gilmore boys with another goal right there. Pugsy setting it up. A beautiful display of offense right there. A pretty pass to a pretty goal. That's been the story of Hyferia. When they've been successful on offense, it has come after some solid passing. They're going to need to keep that in mind down the stretch. No one can do this alone, as a near attempt there couldn't quite get a handle on the ball. They can't do it alone. No one has that star power for them. They just have to find opportunities to set each other up here down the stretch.
And Clever trying to get something going solo, misses the ball completely. It is consistency over trying to make it quick, and that was a massive misread. And that is all the start of this offense that was going to be coming in until Pugsy massively boomed it towards the other side. With 1 minute remaining, it is still Kings who are finding themselves 1 goal down and need to be breaking out of the defensive side a little bit more. When they do get shots, it is pretty decent. Sharky, he's not messing about either. He's clearing that one out. Clever once again with a misread. He's not having the greatest game thus far. But then again, Bones, he just centers that one actually straight to React. Rips his shot. Clever with a good save. And I guess, well, the 2 misreads are made up. Oh my word, Gilbert boys are Clever. Combining on that save. 30 seconds and the comeback still needs to happen.
They D'd up just when they needed to. Now they have to find some offense. Solid defense at the other end. Half a minute remains here. Do they have something? Can't quite find the goal. Is a solid look. The angle isn't there either for Gilmore. Playing it off the wall. Hyferia, they are playing on borrowed time here. They've got to make something happen, to make it happen in a hurry. Not quite the context they were looking here down the stretch. 10 seconds on the clock.
Oh my word, this is so incredibly intense. As this one actually gets a decent pop-up. Gilmore, can he extend? Bones is there incredibly quickly. Never mind that input delay. Springfield there will take home the first game. Oh my word, that was so incredibly close. With Springfield managed to take this one home after a slight win over Kings here. But Kings, they had some mistakes. We saw that Gilmore boys, I think it was on the backboard. He had an opportunity to just put it on the backboard right back in towards the center. Instead, he tried to rip the shot, thus ended up missing the ball completely. So sometimes you have to go for the future play. You have to think about your future, kind of think about that, and make sure that your teammates can potentially finish it off.
Yeah, absolutely massive offensive game from Bones. You see right there, 5 shots converted on 2 of them. Down the line, Sharky with 2 more. That's where most of their offense is coming from. A lot of high goal scores, multi-goal scores. See Gilmore boys on the other side with 2 absolutely clutch goals, 2 absolutely necessary goals. What did Kings College have to do here, Hyferia, to climb back into it and claim game number 2?
I think sometimes it was clever trying to go for a incredibly early read, being there as soon as possible. Then instead of actually getting it, he completely missed the read, which put his team in a bad position and him completely out of boost as well. And now I'm not saying that everything is to blame on Clever, but those tiny things that we already talked in the previous series about butterfly effect, that if your boost gets stolen, it can lead to massive amounts of pressure. Similarly, with you using all your boost for absolutely nothing, that also gets a massive butterfly effect that can put a lot of pressure on your team, and then you just have to hold on by the skin of your teeth, which, well, it was a little bit of a clown fiesta with 7 goals happening in the 3v3. The defense on both sides not really looking up to par.
Not looking up to par indeed. For me, when I look at King's performance, as I was saying, it's got to come down to Pugsy setting up Gilmore boys for me. That's when the offense looked the best. That is where 2 of their goals came from, if I'm not mistaken. That duo right there, Pugsy's being able to put the ball just where Gilmore boys needed it to be. If I can find more of that on the offensive end, I think that they have a legitimate chance here to turn this series around, and that's going to involve Clever playing maybe a lesser role on offense, or maybe playing an additional assist role there to Gilmore boys. But Gilmore boys just look so dynamic on the offensive end. That is the mouth that I'm trying to feed here on offense.
And that talks about, well, Sharky being on Aquadome being a massive factor. Springfield actually got their first game in the entire circuit. We didn't even mention that. I literally just realized, but they're actually, massive applause to Springfield. They did get the first game, but we're going to have a tiny lobby remake, as well, Aquadome has given a little bit too much power to Sharky and taken away from Benny P, who I think identifies as Bones in this game. So maybe he just wants to have a little bit more play.
Yeah, absolutely. Those dry bones not getting it done there in the water. Sharky, like you said, got to get the nerf. A little bit too powerful. Had a fantastic game number 1. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Springfield College couldn't get it done their first 3 week. Nichols, Durham, do you pronounce that Fanshawe? Fanshawe?
Yes,
Fanshawe. All right. Have not had the pleasure of casting one of their games yet. But yeah, against Fanshawe, against Nichols, against Durham, 3 clean sweeps. Tonight, they come out against Kings College. They find their first win. They did it exactly how we said they needed to, right? They had to come out and put some points on the board and do it in a hurry. As you said, a 7 combined goals, bit of a fiesta. But I think that's exactly what Springfield were looking for. We're going to see if it repeats. Now they got that first one under their belt. I'm expecting some lower scoring games coming through. I'm expecting Springfield to tighten up a little bit. You know, hey, we got that first win of the season. We got that first game under our belts. Let's tighten up. Let's show them what we can do. Let's show them what Springfield Rocket League is all about.
Even though if you do that and then say, hey, no, we're going to hunker up in defense and make sure we sit tight, that is inviting a lot of pressure on towards your own half. And that is often a bad thing. And you really want to be breaking out. You want to be keeping on playing the exact same as you've already been. But maybe, hey, I've got a theory here, right? And, well, you can tell me whether it's a trash theory or this. So, right, Springfield, they've been swept every single time. They know exactly how to do it now, right? So now they might just be able to completely flip the script and say, look, we've taken notes every single day, every single time we got swept. Let's go, Kings. Let's go. You're getting swept, baby. You're getting swept. Here we go.
A little bit of flip the script and dip the chip on them after getting swept their first 3 weeks. Are you telling me Springfield might never lose again? They took those notes from the first 9 straight L's, and they're like, all right, we get it. We know how to sweep people now. We know, maybe more importantly, we know how bad it sucks to get swept. That feeling is awful. You definitely want to escape that at all costs. But you know what, Hyferia? As goofy as it sounds, I'm with you. I think that theory holds a lot of water.
Hey, all my theories hold a lot of water, and usually when something bad happens to you and you know it's a terrible feeling, you're like, I don't want to have any other human being experience that. Well, Springfield, they don't care. They don't care about your feelings. They are currently facts, and facts don't care about your feelings. They're looking to knock out Kings 3-0. Obviously, it's going to be an incredibly difficult task here as Kings. We're still waiting on them to join the lobby. If you're even taking long to join the lobby, that might just say that you're not that quick on the buttons as you used to be.
That, or they are just recalibrating a little bit after that close game number 1. They did come up just 1 goal short of staying in overtime. Some phenomenal play from Gilmore boys down the stretch. Excited to see more of that duo that we talked about with Pugsies on the offensive end, seeing what they are able to get done. And we've talked a lot about what Springfield did right, how it's exciting they got their first win. I'm still waiting for Kings College to show me something that's impressive. I'm still waiting for Kings College to show me that they don't deserve the record they have, right? We talked about how they took Montclair State to 5 in the opener of the season. You had to feel good after that, but following that up with a sweep and then a 3-1, not what you're looking for. I'm waiting for them to show me something that they really deserve to have a seat at the table with maybe just the middle of the pack here in the Champions Division.
Well, a very simple mathematical fact for you, Nelhad. In order to make it to that game 5, you do have to lose one, so technically you could still... No, I'm just messing. Something else I noticed that we have a lot of animals on the pitch here today. Well, Gilmore boys, it would be an absolute beast of a series for sure. Pugsies, obvious reasons. Sharky, obvious reasons. Bones, it has to come from somewhere, so... It's a lot of animals, and it kind of shows in the chaos at times where they're just ball chasing and kind of monkeys are on the pitch, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it as we have picks in the booth, baby. Go with that animal vibe. Woo!
Oh my gosh, got apes in the booth and on the field. It looks like Kings are finally joining Pugsies, Clever, and Gilmore boys getting onto the pitch here. Just waiting for them to join their respective sides, and we can get this going. Very excited here for game number 2. If you missed game number 1, it was a 4-3 win for Springfield College, securing their first game win of the season. Both these teams looking for their first match win of this fresh season. We are, of course, here in week number 4. Both teams holding an 0-3 record to date.
Oh my, yeah. Yes, indeed. For some reason, it always we have a lot of times in between games, and well, I just want to get this one underway as soon as possible. I want to see how Kings manage to regain themselves after that loss, try and change their play style a little bit to see what they can actually do. And well, it's even if you're rooting for one team, we do ask you to keep it respectful in chat and everything like that. It is a college tournament, so well, Kings, they do need to bounce back, and with the spring, they could just bounce right back.
Yeah, they do need to bounce back in a big way, hunting for that first match win. It starts here in game number 2. Nobody wants to be put in that 0-2 position. The reverse sweep so infamously hard, and for good reason. If they do end up falling here in this game to Springfield College, much of the fashion we saw in game number 1, their entire game plan has to change. They've got to tighten up. But Hyferia, we are finally on the pitch here for game number 2.
Enough of us rambling about meaningless things. We can't get this one underway and see what actually goes on in the match. As Bones clears it towards the side. Clever positioning himself on the sidewalk. Gilmore actually deciding not to go for that ball, inviting a lot of pressure. And this is exactly what I mean. If you invite pressure, you are going to get shots on target against you. But this could be a good breakout. Clever looking to combine with Gilmore, who extends it. That will be right into Pugsies. Can't rip a shot, and with 0 boost, can't finish that play off as well and forced to rotate back.
Yeah, they're looking for that redirect into the goal. They couldn't quite find it. Very solid defense. This attempt not going to find its mark. Oh my gosh, absolutely stonewalled on the other end. Pugsy's trying to find something out of the corner. Will not be able to do so. Can they continue to offensive possession? Doesn't look likely a solid clear there. Although, if you're, they will keep it alive for the time being. There is Pugsy's once again trying to set up their teammates. Had 2 assists there in game number 1.
Yeah, 2 assists, and you do need to get more going. As Pugsy's rips a shot, that's going to be off the crossbar. There's nobody for the second shot as well. And Sharky, oh my word, he couldn't get this one out. So the pressure will be continuing. Clever off the backboard. Nobody there, and Kings, they need to have somebody there for the follow-up shot because an initial one isn't good enough.
Kings College had so many opportunities to go right there. They couldn't quite convert. Gilmore going to go wide right there once again, and they keep the possession alive, but they can't quite convert. They have had so many good looks here, and they have another solid one there. Good bit of defense, but here comes Gilmore boys following it up. They get the demo. They're playing 3v2. The goal not being very well defended. One of these opportunities is going to go in here soon enough if Springfield College does not shore up their defense. Pass to the middle. Good bit of defense there once again, but they are playing bend not break, and sooner or later these pipes are going to burst under the pressure. Sharky! Oh, just a bit too hot on that one.
Oh my word, Sharky. I don't think he actually expected it to make his way through, as Clever had a slight miss on the defensive side. And now it is Kings once again in that offensive pressure. Oh my word, Pokes is going to get it in there. Wolf of the back of the 50 will get it into the back of the net. And that is a 1-goal lead for Kings.
Absolutely. Gilmore boys setting up Pugsy's, the inverse of what we saw last game, but those two still are the catalyst for this team's offense. Looking fantastic right there. I'm looking for more of that duo down the stretch here if they want to get back into this one. And Gilmore right off the bat creating some solid offense here. Can't quite find the angle, but a good look to open up this next stretch of the game following their goal. Clever playing a bit of defense right here, but here is Springfield trying to find something. Their offenses look pretty lackluster this game. Hyferia, to me, it all stems out of midfield. They just can't get it out of their half.
Yeah, exactly, and well, it all starts at the midfield. Clever, he's looking to get something through the air. Maybe a solo play happening. Bones, that is very good though from Springfield. Off of that play, I could have seen all 3 players come into that one, but instead only one went. Good communication on the side of Springfield, which is exactly what you need if you're being put under such an amount of pressure every single time. As Gilmore takes it up into the air, goes underneath. Oh my word! Oh, Bones with the save. Well, that is such a heads-up play, and Clever, he's not done just yet. Kings in general, they are being absolute kings on the possession and not letting anyone run away with anything.
Oh my God, what a save! Bones, you are insane! Just building a brick wall around that goal, but it's going to break sooner or later. Can't find the angle there. The follow-up. Oh my gosh, Sharky! Oh, this goal is a no-fly zone right now, but they still trail 1. They have to find some offense at some point here down the stretch. They just can't get it out of their own half, but here they come. Sharky leading the charge. They do pick up a demo right there, but the possession just collapses into nothing right there. They are able to get the clear, but me, oh my, the defensive effort, there it is, react, oh my gosh, they put it together in a hurry.
This is giving me massive Fanshawe vibes of just hunkering up in defense, saying, come at me, brother, come at me, you ain't got nothing on me, baby. And then you just go down the other end, put a goal in, 1-0 right now. Oh my word, this final minute could be all meaning. Oh my word, Sharky 50s his way through, and that is a lead for Springfield.
Oh my gosh, all game long, Kings College were just knocking at the door. They would not go away. They put so many shots on, but at the end of the day, it is Springfield who is up 2-1. Absolutely tremendous defensive effort from this team, and they are reaping the benefits of that right now.
They are reaping their benefits right now, but how long is that going to last? As well, that offensive pressure is going to continue itself right here with Clever having a good 50, dropping straight in towards the center. Bugsy's off the crossbar, the accuracy just slacking that tiny bit. Gilmore couldn't get a great 50, and that is React going down the other end. Bugsy's sliding it underneath. Cha-Cha real smooth, and now Bugsy's might find himself in a 1v1 situation. Actually, Gilmore takes over. Bugsy's a phenomenal save. Sharksy clears that further, and these final 30 seconds are all meaning.
Absolutely, they're trying to find something here. A bit of a mosh pit in front of the goal. Nothing is going to come of that. Here is Pugsy's trying to find an angle, trying to set up the teammates. They can't get anything there. Solid bit of defense, which has been the name of the game so far. They've got to find a goal right here, right now. They do have an opportunity here. Gilmore always set it up. Oh, the last second. Pugsy's puts it in. Pugsy's puts it in. Wow, they were knocking at the door all game long, and just in the nick of time it swings wide open, and we are headed to overtime.
I'm calling VAR on that. That was 0 seconds and it touched the ground. I'm calling BS all of the wazoo, but we have overtime. And Sharky about to finish it right here. Gilbert boys with a save. And now looking to go down the other end. That has a massive boomer. Might just be on target. Oh my word. React gets to clear out. Bugsy's rips the second shot. I can't call that much of a shot. It's Clever. He will 50 right back in towards the opposing box. Oh my word, Kings. They keep up this pressure, but they do not find the goal. That is going to frustrate them at some point for sure.
For sure, indeed. They may have another look here. Gilmore boys up for the aerial, trying to knock it in. They can't find anything there, but there's a double spin. Pugsy's! Oh my goodness! Pugsy's the hero that they needed right here. Springfield College going to walk away the winners in game number 2, and we are all knotted up at 1 apiece.
Oh my word, and people were calling us crazy in the previous game for calling an overtime with 4 minutes left. With a match like this, can you blame us? Can you really call us that crazy? Because oh my word, these teams are an inch away from each other right now, barely managing to beat each other out. As
16
Kings,
shots on goal for Kings. 16. Hyferia. What? That's insane. Are you kidding me? They were just pounded all game long, and eventually pressure bust pipes. Springfield needs to have some midfield game. They have to get the ball out of their half upcoming here because they can't survive. This pace is not sustainable. Allowing 16 shots on goal is just absolutely ludicrous, and you can't count on your defense that long.
Oh, I think if we would dial up Fanshawe, then they would massively disagree. Say, look, watch one of our matches. We do exactly that every single game. And actually, Fanshawe, they did manage to sweep Springfield early. So maybe Springfield, I told you, they took notes, brother. They took notes. The sweep won't be happening anymore, but the notes are still there. They do know what to do as we hop into this third game. This match is for whoever gets to be on that match point position, a dominating position. And oh, it's going to be so incredibly close. I can't call it.
Yeah, and speaking of taking notes in Fanshawe, that was the week 1 opponent for Springfield. So they are well acquainted with the frantic brand of defense that they do play. Pugsy's going to get a solid touch here off rip. Sharky looking for something, and will end up winning that touch right there. Pugsy's trying to clear this ball. Not going to find a solid look right here, but a good bit of defense right there. I'm expecting the tightening up of the defense here for Springfield. There's no way they allow 16 shots on goal again.
Well, I mean, if you only concede 2 of those or 3 of those in the end, it is still a pretty decent record. If you're able to hunker down the defense and really block every single shot, then it doesn't really matter as long as you're able to create enough opportunities. But Rule 1 of Rocket League, I mean, not necessarily the actual Rule 1, but how to win Rocket League, score more goals than your opponent, and that's almost what they're currently doing. Bones rips one from distance, going to be slightly wide. Bones gets a good block on it. Well, it is about as close as a start as it can be. Oh my word, going end to end right here.
Yeah, going end to end indeed. Springfield trying to find something right here out of the corner, but there's Pugsy's there with the clean clear, trying to keep the possession alive. Gilmore boys coming through. Good bit of defense right there. They're going to keep it on Springfield's half. Oh, Sharky not getting the touch they were looking for, but Bones is there to clean it up and try to set the teammates. 0 follow through right there. Good bit of defense, keeping it away from the goal. Here was the follow through, snug it right under but Springfield unable to find much else. Gilmore boys, ooh, not quite finding it on the goal, but solid bit of air dribbling there.
Yeah, so getting across the pitch is so incredibly important. If one of your players can just get it across the entire pitch, because that means you've got two right behind you with a lot of boost still in this angle. Clever gets it towards the other side. Sharky, that is not a touch that he probably would have been looking for. Now they have to be on defense once again. You don't want to be putting yourself in that position. As Clever tries to rip it to the backboard, also didn't get a touch that he was looking for. Is from both sides, they're getting a little bit of weak touches at times, and touches that they're not necessarily looking for. They need to step up to the play, because every single touch matters. We've talked about butterfly effects many a times, and also in this matchup that holds very true.
Very true indeed. Everything ends up mattering when you look back on it down the line. Gonna be a solid look there, but Gilmore boys able to clean it up, send the ball to the other end. They may have a look here. Oh. Clever putting it in for the first goal of the game, and a much needed one at that, as King College will go up 1-0 here.
I think Clever was kind of spitting in the face of Sharky and Bones here. Both of them were near post, and he still put the shot near post. I mean, to be fair, off the post and in, it was a very hard read to actually see whether that was going to make its way in, but nonetheless, Bones, he's now looking to do down the other end. Gilmore's is just a little bit quicker. That could be that input lag I was talking about earlier. And now bad pass in towards the middle, or a good pass from Reacts, I guess, but not the one he was looking for. Clever, he's massively shown up as well. From the few missed touches to being on top of the scoreboard, he is showing up, and that is what you love to see. Somebody who's having an off game saying, hey, I can pick it up. And Gilmore's, he's picking up this goal as well. 2-0 for the Kings.
Oh my goodness, when it rains, it pours, and it is starting to come down right now. Back-to-back goals. Gilmore boys, absolutely gorgeous touch there to put their team up 2-0.
It is a phenomenal start, but Kings, they have to keep this lead. We did see an incredibly early, or not early lead. Oh my word, what is going on here, Sharky? Incredibly quick comeback from Springfield in the previous one, scoring a kickoff goal after that. So it can just happen incredibly quickly if you don't pay attention to it. And Pugsy, I don't know how he still had his flip, but he did have one, but this is not good enough from the defensive side right now. Springfield, if you hunker down on defense, you need to be able to clear the ball out, or at least have enough time to collect some boosts, because currently that is not happening, and it is just bad for your defensive repertoire.
Yeah, Springfield has to find some way to consistently get on offense here. They are allowing a lot of shots on goal once again here. They're having to hunker down, and as a result, they haven't even really had many offensive possessions right here. You see it. They just have to frantically play defense and cross their fingers that nobody finds a corner of the goal, because right now they are just peppering the goal shots. Kings offense looking absolutely great here again in game number 3.
And we were talking about how Springfield currently don't have a lot of offense going on. Look at the scoreboard, brother. There's 4 shots for Kings. There's 6 shots for Springfield right now. So, I mean, to be fair, that shot earlier on, as Gilmore's has a completely open net, puts it in, might solidify the win in this one. Well, Rocket League shooting recognition can be iffy at times.
Yeah, even though the shots feel like that, I would love to see if we could get a statistical breakdown of which half the ball was on for a greater portion of the game, because, man, does it feel like Kings has just dominated essentially what I would call time of possession, right? Not exactly football. But if that was an available stat, I would love to get my eyes on that, because it really feels like they have just controlled the pace and the tempo of this game and just played it exactly how they want to do, Hyferia.
Oh, I've got good news for you, brother. Currently, that is being in the works. I think pretty much everywhere in the Rocket League communities, it is a phenomenal statistic to have. It's being used in I think it's the Rocket RB. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that is one of the statistics that I would absolutely love having as well. It's incredibly hard to code. With 8 seconds left, it is going to be impossible to code a win here for Springfield. They do have to take another loss, and it will be Kings regaining themselves massively and getting one back in the match.
Yeah, it might be hard to code, but Clever and Pugsy's both computer science majors. So, if they can clean up this win here in the next game, they can get right on that. The night is still young. A lot of code can still be written before it's over. But first, they will have to clean up this series, currently leading 2-1. Springfield getting that early dub, but since then have looked a little bit lackluster at generating solid looks on net.
Yeah, no, Springfield, they managed to get the code working in the initial game, but then it was such a messy code that they didn't actually remember how it works, and now they need to completely figure that out. They've had 2 games to do so. They do need to start figuring that out right away, otherwise, well, it won't be a sweep, so I guess that's a W. You can count that as a W, whatever you want. Small victories, am I right? But still, you do want that massive victory here today. You don't want to just win the battle, you want to win this entire war.
Yeah, absolutely. Still looking for that first full match win despite getting that first game win tonight. We'll see if they have a little bit left in the tank, but right now, Kings College, the Lions are just absolutely roaring right now, having a blast, it looked like, in these last 2 games, putting in a lot of shots on goal, scoring at a pretty decent clip. We're gonna see if they have the offense to finish it out here in game number 4, excuse me. I don't think that Springfield's gonna just give it to them. I'm excited to see what they can draw up and approach this game differently, Hyferia.
And from the underneath, or from the underwater, we go in towards the salty shores, and salt could definitely be achieved here if Springfield don't manage to find their way through, because I think they do deserve to at least bring this to a game 5, which would be absolutely insane, as Bones, he can be off the backboard, get it in towards the center. There's nobody there for it though, and Springfield just have that man up there. It is 3v3. You have the ability to do, but you have that little bit more room that you need to capitalize, that you need to actually utilize here.
Yeah, chat's got me. It's Kings Monarch. Kings College is indeed a different college with the mascot lion. Thank you for that, chat. I appreciate it here as Kings do try to find a little bit of defense here on the other end. Couldn't quite get that first offensive possession to go. 50 there in the air, not quite going their way either.
Yeah, it's currently being cleared out by the Kings on towards the other side. They have been looking solid in or in offense, I mean, having solid opportunities. And Gilmore boys, oh my word, he was at the back end of most of those as Puxy's rips another shot. Good clear out by Sharky. Clever demo dodge from Bones. As, well, we see the player Clever sitting back here, biding his time. Okay. Oh! Won't mention it. Moving on Nelhad.
Goodness, from point blank might get it to go, but there's the key cleanup. Clever making good, atoning for the mistakes that we just saw. So they do end up snagging their goal right there that they felt like they rightfully deserved a second ago, Hyferia. We don't have to mention it. They did make good on it eventually.
Clever as well. He missed the completely open net. I mean, he tried to place it in the corner and mispositioned his car that tiny bit, and then he just rips one for distance. Why do it simple if you can do it hard and a little bit more fancy? We're talking about the Freestyle Fridays earlier. It's not necessarily a freestyle, but it is a little bit more of a fancy goal. As React tries to get that one into the back of the net with his dumpster truck. Doesn't manage to do so, and now he's forced to rotate back because he did have 0 boost. Bones rips another shot. Shut down early, but Clever, I'll say it again, Clever has been stepping up massively for the Kings.
Massively, and the Kings have a solid look at the offense right here. Can't quite find anything out of it. Big demo coming through right there. Attempted bit of defense here out of the corner, and they can't quite get it. Dangerous positioning of the ball. Can they step up on defense right here? And they are able to eventually find the clear. There's Gilmore boys cut off. Eventually they can't find it. Sharky attempting something here in the air. Good bit of defense from Clever.
Oh my, I thought it was an absolute monkey challenge from Sharky. He managed to somewhat make it work. He couldn't get the second touch. I thought he'd be all out of boost, but no, he still had 26 left in the tank. So Sharky, you go for it, boy. You go for it and try and get those things going. Well, Sharky is on the ball right here. Does manage to get a second touch. This time it's a little bit unnecessary, though. The communication not really coming out from his teammates saying, hey, Sharky, you've got time here, mate. Just take a little bit of a breather and don't get that second touch. Don't use your boost. As React looks to find his teammate. Oh, obviously, the only man who was there was the opposition, who was able to clear it towards the other side.
Absolutely right there. Pugsy's trying to get a handle on this one. Can't quite find it there. Oh, narrowly missing that shot on goal, trying to clear it out of their half here. Our Kings, they are leading 1-0, trying to put this series away, getting their first win on the season. But Springfield still clinging on, just trailing one, trying to find some life here. Have dropped 2 straight games. Pugsy's there trying to clear. Clever will be the one to clean it up on the defensive end. Pugsy's able to keep going, keep chugging after taking a big hit right there. Doesn't lose possession of the ball.
It's really the offensive pressure that really right there from Springfield, that they get phenomenal opportunities, but then nobody's really there to capitalize. 2 of them are then sitting back. And sure, yes, you want to rely on solo plays at times, but team play is exactly where it's at. Clever, tell me you didn't actually just hit a flip reset. I thought he might have gotten it, but it was slightly off now. React and Bones. Okay, I think React got a touch on this, accelerating the ball massively. That's a 2-goal lead with 1 minute remaining.
Pugsy's has been so impressive here. Hyferia playing just the assist man there in game number 1 has really come alive down the stretch here for Kings College. They are looking great with Pugsy's doing a lot of the damage on the offensive end. 1 minute to go. Kings up by 2. Springfield's got to do something in a hurry.
In a massive hurry as well as these final 50 seconds. They are in effect. Sharky, a man who mostly got the offense going, doesn't even get it past Gilmore. Oh my word, the pre-jump from Gilmore was absolutely ridiculous. Being up so incredibly early. This one is going towards the center. Clever gets the clear out, and with final 30 seconds in effect, I think Springfield, they need to get a goal on this common attack that React could be starting, but he's taken such a long amount of time to try and get that ball turned around. This is going to be incredibly tough. Oh.
Yeah, incredibly tough, especially when Clever's going to put in that goal. Feels like that is going to be the one to ice it for Kings College, as they are eyeing up getting their first win of the season. They came close against Montclair. They gave Nichols a run for their money, but against Springfield College, they are finally going to get it done.
Yeah, they did get her done, and they are now moving on to with a win in the league. It is a good performance apart from that as well from Kings. It was definitely not like, oh yeah, no, this was a lucky win. Springfield was just slacking. I mean, sometimes on offense, I guess you could say that Springfield was slacking, but in general, Kings, they are. They had a massive performance here today, and this is going to show throughout the rest of the circuits, throughout the rest of the league. This is probably the start of their blooming period.
Yeah, they absolutely need it too. As we said, they now improved to 1-3 on the season. And I think it's expected that Springfield would come out, get that first win, right? They hadn't won a game all year. They were desperate. They were hungry. There comes a point where a team is talented and hungry. You can't take much from them, but very impressed from the offensive play of Kings College. They worked well together. They seized opportunities in games 2 through 4. They peppered the goal, put a lot of shots on. I'm excited to see what this offense can do come the end of the season when they've had more time to work together.
Yeah, no, it's been great. It's been a phenomenal series here, and well, it's just so incredibly hard to try and look for that pop-off player. And I'd say throughout the entire matchup, Gilmore was the most consistent player, but I would love to get Clever in here to see what his thoughts are after that. A little bit of a rough start in that initial game to now massively show up in the rest, to see what his thoughts are. Clever, I said it many times, massive props to him. He really has stepped up and managed to regain himself. It was absolutely insane. I think, as you said, with only more time, they will keep on being better and better.
Yeah, absolutely. Would love to hear what is on Clever's mind after getting their first win of the year. Yeah, I'm excited to see what this team can do. The more time they spend together, the more time they play together, it's only going to yield better gameplay, better results for them. So, well, this is their first win of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if this turns into a streak. Like I said, my eyes right now at 1-3 are definitely on getting back to 500. What can we do to absolutely secure these next 2 wins, get us back to ground zero, right? Get us back to that point where it's like, all right, fresh season, we're 500. Doesn't really matter what we've done to this point. We can start clean. That's what I'm looking for. That's my mentality if I were in this situation.
That is exactly what the mentality that they need to have as well. They need to basically a reset. Say, hey, look, we've got something on the board now. Let's continue that. Let's grind this game out, because the first 3 weeks, well, apparently wasn't really, or the first 2 weeks weren't enough of a wake-up call. Now with the third week, it was enough of a wake-up call. They finally managed to get something going. Incredibly excited for what they managed to hold in the future. But we do have a few people to thank, and before we can get Clever in here, we'll just go over that real quick. And well, that person to thank is obviously Meta Pro Gaming, and they are a full-service esports management, developmental, and consulting company. Meta provides esports coaching, college esports management, arena design, and equipment. So go ahead and visit them on metaprogaming.gg to learn more. And something I'd like to learn about more right now, lad, is, did you want a Game 5?
Oh, I absolutely wanted a Game 5, but what I want to hear more is Clever's thoughts on getting their first win of the season. Welcome to the air, Clever.
Thank you. You know, it was pretty uplifting for us, just because of the fact that, you know, we started on a little slope downhill, and then now we're just, you know, getting back up into it and getting moving here.
Yeah, absolutely. Hyferia, take it away.
Did that make you guys more nervous as well, that you're currently up, or that you were up against a team that's 0-3 as well, and then all of a sudden having to kind of turn on and say, hey, look, another team, this is our time?
I mean, from the start, we knew everything's going to be a challenge for us coming in first year, but I think that this kind of just pushed us instead of making us more nervous, just because we have that momentum now as a team and that chemistry as a team to push forward.
Yeah, absolutely. My only question is, the only thing in my mind, what can you do to transfer the momentum from this game into next week? What can you do to kind of right your wrongs from those first 3 weeks, as far as your wins and losses are concerned?
I think we just got to sit down, take some notes, and then move forward and practice as a team and just keep pushing.
And I mean, enough talking about your team as a whole. After your first game, did you feel like, I mean, you had a few misreads and stuff like that. How did you manage to kind of get yourself going into the match?
I think it was just once, you know, we got up a goal, and then everything started clicking. You know, we all mess up sooner or later, no matter what rank we are. So just kind of move past it and keep going forward.
And that is exactly what you need to do as well. Massive props to you once again, Clever. I'm gonna let you go ahead and celebrate, potentially with the Netflix movie once again, or potentially with some different activities. You can pick and choose. There's plenty of options to do online. Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on air. Thank you for talking to us here, and we wish you a good one.
Thank you. Have a good one.
What a series there, Hyferia. Do you have anything to say before we send the nice people at home to a quick break before our next series?
I'll make sure to stay tuned for the next match, because if you thought this one was pretty poggers, pretty epic Fortnite moment, you've got more coming. You've got definitely more coming, and with that, we'll head into a tiny little break. Thank you all so much for sticking with us. We'll see you in a little bit.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.